Hello, this is Top Stories on Viewer Television. I am Naomi Simon. Now, the National Deputy President of the Trade Union Congress, Tommy Etim, berated moves by the federal government to hamstring the organized labor from embarking on an indefinite nationwide strike from Tuesday using the courts. Etim stated that the labor leaders would not succumb to any threat by the government, noting that they were ready to go to prison in their fight for better lives for Nigerian workers. The TUC Deputy President said this against the backdrop of the warning by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi that the proposed strike by the Nigerian Labour Congress and TUC was in contravention of the subsisting court order restraining the unions from declaring an industrial action. The NLC and TUC Tuesday announced an indefinite strike with effect from October 3rd, 2023 to protest the alleged failure of federal government to provide post-subsidy palliatives for workers and implement policies that could alleviate the sufferings of the masses after the removal of the fuel subsidy. Meanwhile, members of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers and the Association of the Senior Staff of Banks, Insurance and Financial Institutions have been put on notice for the industrial action billed to start October 3rd. NUPENG and ASSBIFI are affiliates of the NLC and the TUC respectively. Two labor centers, Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, rose from their National Executive Council with the resolution to shut down the country if the October 1st address of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu failed to address their demands. In a notice by its President Williams and General Secretary Afolabi Olawole, NUPENG urged its branches and units to take note and ensure full compliance by setting up compliance and monitoring teams in all operational locations. Furthermore, jubilation broke out at the Secretary of the Labour Party in Abuja when the Supreme Court affirmed Senator Ethan Okonu as the rightful candidate for the November 3rd election in Imo State. Okonu is aiming to become the first physically challenged governor in the country in the platform of Labour Party in the off-season election taking place in the state. An aggrieved aspirant at the last LP primary, Basil Maduka, had objected and challenged Okonu's candidature at both the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal, but the Apex Court threw out the case on the ground that it lacked local standing. A panel of 5 justices led by Ian Okoro also cautioned the appellants for abusing the court process and wasting the time of the courts all through from the lower. The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Kaduna State, Isa Ashiru, has rejected the Thursday's judgment of the state's governorship election petition tribunal and urged his supporters to remain law-abiding while he pursues the appeal process. The tribunal, led by Victor, in its verdict on Thursday, dismissed Mr. Ashiru's petition on technical grounds while also signaling the petition would have been successful but for the procedural breach the petitioner committed. The court, before delving into the merits of the case, dismissed the petition by upholding the preliminary objections filed against it, holding that the petitioners failed to apply for the insurance of pre-hearing notice within the stipulated time. Furthermore, the Nigerian Customs Service said its latest findings showed that the quality and price of Nigeria's premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, were the key factors causing the persistent smuggling of PMS out of the country. It also announced a monthly rise in its revenue generation from an average of 202 billion naira to 343 billion naira, representing an increase of 70%. With this, it said the service had surpassed its monthly revenue target of 307 billion naira. The acting Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, disclosed this in Abuja at an event organized by the service to mark the first 100 days in office of the customs boss. Now, the Lagos State Police Command late Thursday night affirmed The arrest of controversial Lagos socialite Balogun Aletu, better known as Sam Larry, over an ongoing investigation into the circumstances leading to the death of late singer Ireoluwa Olaba, aka Mohbad. However, details have emerged on how the popular music promoter was arrested. A police source who craved not to be mentioned as he was not authorized to speak on the matter said he was arrested at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport coming back from Kenya on Thursday evening. And that's all on Top Stories. I am Naomi Simon. I'll see you next time.